to Cornwall Seal Group Research Trust's virtual conference, Sharing Our Seas, Seals and People. We are excited to share an inspirational series of talks exploring a variety of aspects of seal conservation in the UK. And it's our 20th birthday. In that time, we've done 35,000 plus surveys, processed over 1 million photos for 72,000 plus seal IDs. To make sure we can continue this important work, check out our website to join our Wild Seal Supporter Scheme, back our crowdfunding campaign, or shop in our online store. Thank you for your support.
Hi everyone, I'm Katie. I work as the Research Ranger at Cornwall Seal Group Research Trust, and a big part of my job is coordinating the People Protecting Precious Places project. This is a research project that looks into tourism-based human activities and the interactions that they have with seals, and the potential impacts that they could have on them. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this research later on in the video. But first I want to tell you about the impacts that human activity can have on seals, particularly something called disturbance. Now, in the southwest of England and many other places around the UK, disturbance has been identified as one of the main threats that grey seals face today. This is on top of many others such as entanglement, bycatch, marine litter, climate change and much more. But what exactly is disturbance? Put simply, disturbance is a change in an animal's natural behaviour caused by a human source or stimulus. This applies to all species, but of course we're going to concentrate on seal disturbance today. What it looks like, its impact, what causes it, how we can work to prevent it, and more importantly, how you can help. What does seal disturbance look like? I'm going to concentrate mainly on disturbance of seals whilst they're on land. This is when they're most vulnerable. Seals haul out, meaning come out onto land, for essential rest. This includes replenishing vital oxygen stores, recovering energy from foraging out at sea, digestion, breeding, molting, and to thermoregulate. Whilst hauled out, seals are a lot less mobile than when they're in the sea. And because of this, they're generally more vigilant in their behaviour. This is because their feeling of safety is very much compromised. And it's this vigilant behaviour that signals whether or not disturbance has occurred. There are 3 recognisable levels of seal disturbance based on their behaviour whilst they're hauled out. Level 1 is a heightened awareness, which looks like this: raised heads, looking at you or the human activity that is causing the disturbance. The seal looks uneasy and will either fix their gaze on the activity or continue to look back and forth at it. It's a general look of discomfort. Level 2 is when they start to react more physically, moving towards the water, which to them is a safer place. And level 3, this is the most extreme level, is when a seal actually enters the water. This can look controlled, but it can also be sudden and often result in stampedes over boulders. And tombstoning from tall rocks. But why is this a bad thing? You could say, seals are in the water all the time. Why is it such a bad thing for a seal to enter the water? And why is it bad for a seal to be looking at you? Well, it's what you can't see that's the problem. When a seal is resting on land and senses a threat, it immediately goes into something called the flight response. They start to panic, their heart races, their breathing quickens, stress hormones are released, using precious energy needed for vital processes. If they enter the water too quickly, they can go into something called cold shock. The interrupted rest stops them from digesting food, and it creates an energy deficit that they can only recover from if they can haul out later on. There are also many horrible physical injuries that can occur when they rush over boulders to the water, or during stampedes, or tombstoning off high cliffs, including ripped out claws, road rash, belly gashes, broken bones, and even fatality, particularly for smaller pups and young seals that can become crushed by adults hurrying to the sea. It can have devastating consequences, both long and short term. So, now that we know what disturbance looks like, we want to know what causes it. And that's where the People Protecting Precious Places project comes in. Like many others in the UK, the South West is a region that relies heavily on tourism for a successful economy. In Cornwall especially, the coastal tourism business has expanded massively over the last few years. More people are experiencing and connecting with our amazing marine environment through multiple different activities. People are more interested in outdoor activities such as kayaking, paddleboarding, snorkeling, going on boat trips, and lots more. Many have interest in the awesome wildlife that inhabits our amazing coastal waters. This is great, and here at CSGRT we are thrilled that people are wanting to be captivated by the natural environment, marine life, including our globally rare grey seals, and they're wanting to learn more about them. However, with more visitors and activities hoping to get a glance at these charismatic animals, there is an increased pressure on their safe havens used for rest. As we became more aware of this issue for seals, and also other marine life like cetaceans and seabirds, CSGRT came together with a consortium of other organisations, including statutory agencies and NGOs whose sole purpose involves wildlife conservation and protection, to form the Cornwall Marine and Coastal Code Group in 2013. This group is concentrated on promoting best practice wildlife watching for both commercial operators and members of the public to help reduce disturbance levels. CSGRT volunteers have also been monitoring disturbance as part of their regular seal surveys around the southwest coast. But last year, in the summer of 2019, CSGRT started our systematic seal and human activity interaction surveys. We trained a small number of volunteer surveyors and students from the University of Plymouth, the University of Exeter, Cornwall College Newquay, and the University of Bristol to conduct our bespoke survey protocol developed with our scientific advisor, Bex Allen. These surveys monitored 4 sites around the Cornish coast that have been highlighted as hotspots for seal and human interaction. Surveys took place over 3 months in the peak summer season. In these surveys, information about the human activity in the area was recorded, including how many were present, what type of activities there were, how close they were to the seals, and more. Seal information was also recorded, including how many, their age and sex, where they were positioned on the haul out, their behaviour, and whether they had a disturbance response to the human activity. If there was disturbance observed, the level was identified and how many seals were affected. And this is what we found out. This graph shows the total number of disturbance events that occurred over the 140 hours of surveying in the light blue, and the total number of individual seal reactions, meaning each seal that showed a disturbance response to a human activity, in the dark blue. You can see that all the sites show a high number of disturbance events, but it's at the 2 St Ives sites where the most seal reactions occurred. Now, if you break it down to correct for effort, you can see here in this table what this actually means. There's a lot of numbers here, but what you really need to look at is in the red boxes. And what this translates to is that seals are being disturbed on average every 27 minutes in Mounts Bay, every 29 minutes in Newquay, and every 14 to 20 minutes in St Ives. That's up to 4 times an hour. Looking at types of activities here in these pie charts, you can see that it's not the same situation happening at all sites. The main cause of disturbance is different in different areas. You can see that in St Ives, seals are disturbed predominantly by commercial tripper boats and ribs, whereas in Mounts Bay a third of disturbance is caused by non-motorised vessels such as kayaks and stand-up paddleboards. In Newquay, commercial tripper boats only cause 2% of disturbance, with the highest proportion caused by air-based sources such as planes and helicopters, and also land-based activities such as walkers. Newquay was the only site to record disturbance resulting from walkers, and also jet skis, snorkelers and divers. So there's a different range of activities happening at each site. What does this tell us? In summary, all 4 sites are showing high levels of disturbance, with seals experiencing chronic disturbance on a daily basis. All 3 levels of disturbance were recorded, but level 1 was the most common. Overall, commercial tripper boats caused the most disturbance, but this was not the case at all of the sites. And this just highlights that any management or protective measures, they need to be site-specific in order to be effective. This point has also been highlighted throughout our work with other groups around the UK, for example the Seal Alliance, and also setting up Seal Network UK. Through this collaboration, we're working to produce some useful and universal messaging, along with guidelines to spread awareness to both the commercial tourism industry and members of the public of how to enjoy watching seals in their natural environment without impacting on them. We've got a long way to go, but we're definitely getting there. We know disturbance is a problem for seals, but how can we prevent it? And more importantly, how can you help? Here are a few top tips to use when watching seals both from land and on the sea. Keep your distance and a low profile. Look for local information on recommended distances. Talk in whispers. Use binoculars, telescopes and cameras with zoom lenses to watch them from afar. Read the seal's behaviour. If they're looking at you, then you're too close, so back off to give them some space. When going out on boat trips, choose wise accredited operators. Never feed a wild seal. Always leave a seal how you found them. And remember, it can be a criminal offence to disturb a seal in a marine protected area. And finally, if you happen to see disturbance, please report it to the Cornwall Marine and Coastal Code Group hotline. The number's on the screen now. Thank you so much for watching. Disturbance can be a really complex issue, so if you want to learn more about it, then do head to our website. We have some reports up there that you can read. Also, look into local codes of conduct and local seal groups for more information. And of course, you can always email me, katie@cornwallsealgroup.co.uk, if you have any questions. I want to thank our amazing volunteers, students and collaborators for helping us tackle this issue. And of course to our funders for enabling us to continue this important work to help protect our globally rare grey seals. Enjoy the rest of the conference.